following program on Ada Derana 24 is classified as PG. It is intended for younger children in the company of an adult. It may contain some suggestive dialogue, infrequent coarse language, some sexual situations, or some moderate violence. Viewer discretion is advised. The following program contains opinions of the participants and does not reflect the views and beliefs of the Derana Media Network. The network believes in a safe space for all ideas to be expressed without any censorship and on its duty to create such a platform for free speech. Viewer discretion is strictly advised.
And welcome to another episode of TPS, where we discuss about the most crucial and relevant topics in the political landscape of Sri Lanka, which matters to the general public in terms of knowing what is the truth and what the political leaders are planning for the development and the progress of our landscape. So to discuss about today's topic, which is broad in nature, obviously, but then again to dig deep into this most prominent aspect of anti-corruption and good governance, I have two gentlemen over here with me. Towards my right, I have Mr. Sanka Chandima, co-convener of Renewable Energy Protection Front and also representing the Sammagi Janabalawegaya. Welcome you.
Welcome.
And also towards my left, I have Mr. Dammika Bandara, representing National People's Party, Koti Municipal Council member. Welcome you as well.
Thank you.
So today we are going to discuss about the thematic aspect in terms of anti-corruption and good governance. Now these two aspects go hand in hand. Now I'm not going to take you all through this entire spectrum, but then again these two representatives from the different political parties will speak facts and figures and essentially the truth about how good governance and anti-corruption actually needs prominence and is something nationally important, not only just about politics, but for a country to remain and focus on the good and be positive. This is something that is very crucial. So I'm going to direct this question, which is specifically general to both of you. So I'll start with you. When it comes to anti-corruption, I believe now the new government started off their procedure with this main spectrum of anti-corruption as well. Now, in your focus, in your opinion, what do you think if a country is to go towards anti-corruption, what it needs to address prior, firstly?
Before I start, I must thank Derana for organizing such a platform for people like us to come here and express our views and discuss and debate. I must also thank the SJB leadership for inviting an independent political advocate like myself, who have spent a lifetime fighting for energy sovereignty and the rights of our people, to come here and represent them. So that's actually a good way of showing how you do inclusive politics. When I was an advisor to the government some long time back on international relations, we sometimes even try to take former child soldiers to go to the UN to present the national statement, because we want to be inclusive, you know. So SJB have done and shown that they are willing to be very inclusive in their decision making when it comes to the energy policy of this country or the energy related political advocacy. The current government came into power in a platform built on this anti-corruption and good governance rhetoric. Unfortunately, I don't actually see them walking the talk when it comes to energy or when it comes to the day-to-day governance of the country, or when it comes to the conduct of certain MPs in certain areas, especially in Gampaha district where I actually come from. I question myself what has actually gone wrong. Take energy for example. I have a document here. Apologies if I am actually drawing these documents without my opponent having a prior knowledge about it. A letter issued by the Public Utility Commission on April 3rd. The letter basically says a cabinet decision was taken saying that they are going to purchase around 350 to 400 megawatts of power from diesel at a rate of 20 rupees per unit. But then the Public Utility Commission points out correctly that in fact it's not going to be LNG run because we don't have natural gas. It's going to be diesel run and the cost would be 72 rupees. So that's a huge corrupt deal. And despite all the public protests, despite the protest of the independent commissions of this country, the government went on and signed the deal on April 11th. Just one day after, the government decides to disconnect all the renewable energy plants from the grid, illegally and unethically. And the signing of the deal itself was questionable. I mean, first to begin with, it was between the chairman of LTL and who's also the chairman back then of the CEB and his deputy. So chairman signing an agreement with himself, literally, legal sense, is not very transparent. It's not a very good example for good governance. That's one thing. Secondly, the Electricity Amendments Act, which I actually went to court and defeated it in the Supreme Court. The court actually ruled it's unconstitutional of NPP to propose to have the hydro plants to be privatized or to allow it to be privatized. Even Ranil Wickremesinghe, that we all have criticized plenty of times, he refused to allow any private entity to take over our hydro plants. Not just the hydro plants, but the right to water and the watershed areas and the entire water catchment regions. It's a national property, national treasure. It's a strategic asset. But this government changed mere one word in the proposed amendment from shall to may, to say that the Treasury Secretary may have the ownership. So we see, while the NPP manifesto and then the political platform it created is very nice. It's very nicely printed. The rhetoric was nice. The speeches of the Excellency, the President Dissanayake, is excellent. I mean, they're brilliant to listen to. But when it comes to walking the talk, it's a disaster. It has been an absolute disaster. So, to answer your question, what they can do actually to set this example, they can just start by fulfilling the promises that they gave people. In terms of energy, they should reduce the electricity cost. Instead, they increased it by 18% when the CEB has profited for more than 50+ billion rupees. And they cited wrong, cooked up numbers to do so, to justify that illegal decision, unethical decision, which is also not a decision that came from the PUSL with a free hand. They forced it. The finance ministry actually sent a letter to the PUSL threatening them to approve the price hike. And now recently the IMF country director, I have many differences with the IMF policies to be clear, but the IMF country director had said the Sri Lankan government most probably have misled them. Why? Because the CEB, in order to justify that they need to increase their prices, had come up with completely wrong, cooked up set of numbers. How come this is good governance? This is not what we expected from NPP. I mean, to begin with, in the very early on when they actually start to mess it up, we all warned not to do that. For example, they appointed Dr. Tilak Simbalapitiya as the chairman of the CEB, a person who's accused, not found guilty, but accused of leading this pro-coal narrative in the country since early 90s, mid-90s. No other government, no matter how corrupt they've been accused of, no other government appointed a person like that, who's heading a consulting agency, who's doing business with the CEB, to the top job of the CEB. Today, the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Power, has denied the right of this country's population to have affordable and sustainable and quality energy supply to start with. I can talk about all the other sectors if you want, but this is personally my focus today. How come this be good governance? How come this be just? How come we can accept this? I think this is also one of the reasons why SJB have decided to allow people like me to come and speak in their behalf. I think that's the role of a good, responsible opposition, to include the voices of the civil society as their own. I don't see actually NPP doing it. I mean, in fact, I must thank my fellow good friend here, who's very clear who he is. I mean, in his LinkedIn, I read he's not hiding like some other NPP members. that they are old-time JVP members. I saw, apologies for drawing it up. In your linking, you said you are a member of the local council from the only true communist party of Sri Lanka, the JVP, which is fact. I don't contest it. I appreciate it. That's a good example for transparency and good governance. Telling people who we are. Why this charade of anti-corruption when you are actually planning to change the act in order to justify corruption? To give the power to the minister to do emergency power purchasing under the guise of emergency without no competitive pricing, no tender procedures, no nothing. He can just buy whatever amount he wants at whatever price he wants from whatever source he wants. Is that anti-corruption? I mean, I don't expect you to be held accountable for this. It's not obviously your personal thing, but as a party, I think NPP must answer to this.
Can I intervene in this?
Yes, let's continue. So I'll actually pose this question with regards to the general question that I was asking as well. Now, he has been explaining about how anti-corruption and good governance is this and how NPP has not been living up to it or walking the talk. So in your context, do you feel like the way the people look into this aspect is different to the way you all try to portray it and how we all work behind the scenes? How do you think is the way you wanted to pose anti-corruption and also good governance in this current political landscape?
Well, actually, the accusation, like your accusation, I don't know whether that, I was trying to find out that particular document on Google. I couldn't find it.
I can provide you.
So if it is not a fake document,
no.
If it is not a fabricated document, in that, keeping that mind, I'll try to, explain to the extent that I know.
Yes.
Because I wasn't prepared for this. Like, and also I didn't know that, you were bringing such a big file into this. And let me explain first. Like, when you're talking about corruption in our country, I have experienced. I mean, you must have experienced. You also must have experienced a lot of things. Like, even if you search in Google corruption in Sri Lanka, you will get a huge list of corruption from top to bottom.
Yes.
Just like the way that the Lee Kuan Yew said, he was exampling a water. He says corruption is like water. It comes from top to the bottom. It doesn't go from bottom to the top. Water is like that. Water comes from top to the bottom using gravity. So likewise, the corruption level that we have faced, but I'm pretty sure that this is the whole your staff, including you and myself, we have worked in our whole lives. But at a certain point in 2022, we became bankrupt. Why is that? No one has gained social benefits like in Australia, isn't it? In our country, you won't get anything like that. You get small amount as a social security, which is not enough even to have 3 meals a day, right? But our country has gone down in a certain level and we announced bankruptcy. That's because of the corruption, nothing else. Corruption is such a big thing, unlike the one that he's mentioning about a small issue which is decided by a independent commission, which is it's independent commission. It is 100% independent commission. We have given all the freedom to all the commissions right now. Anyone can go and complain, either to the CID or to the even the bribery commission. Those are working very independently. If you listen to the recently appointed Director General of the Bribery Commission, he was saying, like, don't talk about politics. He is very straightforward, right? So why don't you, I don't know why that, you are bringing a big file here to a national channel and saying, raising up an issue like that without giving any prior notice, so which is not familiar even, like, that's we have explained so many times about the power and energy, our thoughts and plans which are going to be implemented in near future. We have taken only like it's been only 7 months for this particular government, which is like compared to 7 decades of other ruling parties run this country. Like, it's been 7 decades, especially since I believe that, this collapse has started since 1977 during President Jayadara's era. That's where this fall has been started. So it has been happening for over decades, but now if someone is thinking or believing that NPP government should rise it up to back to the same position it was held in 7 months time.
Held when?
Like, maybe about before 77, maybe during the 70 to 77 era, I don't know, right? So currently we have stopped the falling further down in this country. We have stopped it. Are you believing in that?
No, I don't. Actually, we are going down. We are going down. Sadly, we are going down.
Never.
I can context everything you just said.
There's a report which is given by the IMF, and they have recognized as we have stopped corruption fully in our government.
Which report is that?
Well, actually,
can you cite it?
I'll try to find it through this program.
Yeah.
If it is on available, like the Google, I'll show it to you.
Because if you have stopped corruption completely, why do you asking all the government servants?
Let me clarify, please, if you don't mind.
Yes.
When you said that that there's a cutting off the solar system during holiday period, during last single and Tamil New Year era, there was a technical thing that they have explained.
No, completely false.
No, they were trying to balance the system, like that otherwise imbalance might affect the whole system and it can shut down. That's what they said, right? So I'm no expert in electronics or engineering or electricity, but we should know that there are some reasons, and why then, I mean, if they were stealing some money out of it, why they are reconnect all those the sun solar systems? Solar system has been reconnected, isn't it? Now, are you saying that is it being still disconnected? No.
They are still disconnecting it Sundays, holidays, and
that's totally wrong.
I represent the industry.
I got so many calls as well for me during that time from my friends, which they were having rooftop solar panels. Right now, they said that it has been reconnected.
It is not. It is not.
No, it is.
It's illegally been disconnected every Sunday whenever the CEB wishes.
No point of arguing like this. Like, I say it has been reconnected, but you say it's not, which cannot be happening because there are so many investors in this country.
Yes, all those investors went to the Public Utility Commission this month, just few days before, and I was listening to them, sitting in front of them when they actually explained to them how many days since this entire crisis started, that the system has been disconnected. They say some of them, some of their systems have been disconnected on every Sunday, every poor day, every holiday. And the system balance in technical issue, it doesn't exist. This is completely sham. This is the report of the committee to investigate the total power system failure by the CEB, issued April 2025. The system imbalances, whatever technical issues there is, it is a result of CEB not implementing their long-term generational plan and the current energy minister ignoring the letter, the written warning that he got from the National System Controller on November 12th last year, that the system is vulnerable, we have not done all the updates, so let's take immediate action. No, what did he do? He didn't do anything.
Let's see what you have to tell about it, Mr.
Haven't you heard that they were trying to implement or introduce the battery system?
No, it's fake news. It's fake news.
No, it's not fake. Show me the tariff. There are some loans being given.
No.
They asked to apply for fixing up batteries.
I have
panels, right?
No.
No, there's news. Like
the news that came out of nowhere, I don't know where, saying that 48 rupees per unit is being paid for hybrid battery installations at home.
Either minister or the someone from the government.
This is the government notice. Show me
over this. So
yes. Please show me where the solar hybrid battery rate is.
I'm not ready to.
It is not. It's a completely cooked up news. It's a completely cooked up media campaign just to hide the fact.
This is about tariff, right?
That's a tariff. There's no tariff. There's no tariff.
Other than that, there's a policy has been implemented.
Which where?
Vision has been by the electric ministry.
No. The long-term generation plan clearly says by 2024, 50 to 100 megawatts of pilot battery storage project should be there. Nobody has done anything. And there are targets for this year. Nothing has been done.
If I can tell you and conclude this little bit of conversation like this, in this manner. If this government is starting to, rob public funds like that,
they are already
long lost. This country can't afford to do that anymore.
Yes, I understand.
I'm 100% sure as a member of the party NPP, right? So no one is stealing or trying to rob public funds in that manner. That's shameless thing to do. Anyone.
Yes.
Right. If anyone tries to do that. That's a shameless thing to do under these circumstances, right?
Mr. Dammika.
So what I'm saying is, if somebody been found out, you can make a complaint.
I have sued your government few times.
Take my word as a judgment.
So, Mr. Dammika, we will be cutting short from here.
Right,
so we'll proceed with this discussion right after the commercial break. So we were discussing about anti-corruption and good governance. We will proceed with this topic right after the commercial break. This is TPS. Welcome back. This is TPS and we were discussing about anti-corruption and good governance. And also with regards to our two gentlemen, we've been discussing how the government is in the process of bringing about anti-corruption because they came into power with this significant statement of promoting anti-corruption and making sure that Sri Lanka is brought through the process of removing corruption which has been pertaining since some time. And also the economic crisis has been going on which has been an effect of corruption. So with all that, I wanted to ask from you, Mr. Dammika, from where we stopped as well. Now, the government passed the Anti-Corruption Act in 2023. Now, in that context and with regards to your government, yes, exactly. So transparency is something that's crucial when it comes to anti-corruption and specifically good governance. That is something that you and I and all the people who are viewing really wants to look up to. Now, in your context, now this has been quite the situation, quite the talk in the spectrum that whatever that you all promised 7 months ago has not been in the light or has not been something that has been in an outward depiction. But also from your end, you might have the say to say, like, it's just 7 months as well. We do need time. And this needs a little bit of processing and also as to what things are going on as well. So do you feel that 7 months might have, whatever that your government has done within 7 months is more than enough? Or else you feel like your government could have done better in terms of providing transparency as to what you promised at the beginning?
Well, actually, no one has set up such a standard in our country, right? For example, even in Singapore, when they were punishing for the corrupted people who governed before Lee Kuan Yew's government, it took 2 years at least before they began to punish them, right? Took 2 years. Now, in 7 months, can you count how many cabinet ministers are in the jail now, right now? How many? How many top officials of top institutions like, such as the Motor Department, RME, we all know that, it's a corrupt place. I can tell you openly, right? The top position, the highest official of that institution has been arrested. And deputies, there are several deputies have been arrested as well. Not only the smaller, like we were thinking about the past previous governments, they were capturing only the small fellows. Like, whenever they have to find someone, and they had to the law to be like implemented. What they did was like catching us halmas, we call it, right? Small ones. But the top shots has been.
Can I ask a sub question? Is it okay?
Please proceed.
Will your party take measures to arrest former Minister Tiran Alas for the alleged corruption on the e-visa scam?
It won't be happening under your request. I'm so sorry to tell you that.
No, I mean, I'm asking if...
That's what, no. I mean, I don't know about it because, arrest can be made by the authorities, not by the politicians.
But I see politicians making plenty of decisions about the future possible arrest of former First Lady Shiranti, Wickramasinghe.
That's the political, what do you call, political gallery talk, right?
I mean, including President Dissanayake?
No, he has
He have plenty of times have said on stage.
He mentioned only that during the Yahapalne, your favorite government era, when there was a complaint.
Which JVP was a party of, no? Partner of.
We never been part of that. We never been part of that.
Mr. Dissanayake used to visit temple trees quite often.
To stop the corruption.
You even led, your party led.
In the previous government, no.
Yes, your party led the anti-corruption committee. Your minister.
Well, actually only for a few weeks. Weeks, and on our leaders were attended only one committee meeting, and then on the second.
What about the minister?
From which minister?
The minister who headed the anti-corruption committee in the temple trees, he had an office there.
No.
What about the allegations
we
that...
didn't have any ministerial positions at that time?
No. You led the committee. You led the committee. Your party led the committee.
Anti-corruption committee, there was a...
I was part of that 2015 campaign for Maithripala Sirisena, so I know how JVP supported us. We worked together.
Even in Kotte Municipal Council, we appoint the opposition leaders to take part in those committees. That's how the parliament is also working.
No, it was part of the deal.
Just have a look at
part of the deal that we made with
in the parliament.
The anti-corruption committee that operated out of the temple trees.
No, that's also a committee appointed by all the other parties representing the
So you accept that you were part of that government's operation?
No, we were just representing our party within that committee,
so
that's all.
While representing your party, you were part of that, no?
That's how it works. You haven't governed, no? That's the thing, like, if you are a politician, you would understand this
I am a full-time politician, but...
Unfortunately, that you said that you are not even a member of SCB,
right? I don't have to be a member of a local council or a parliament to be a politician, no?
So let's proceed with how you were.
So let's not go there.
No.
Stay on the topic.
What I'm trying to say is, like, your judgments were not correct actually at that time. Even like your accusations are totally rejected.
Which one?
All of them. Like if you are really loving this country, why don't you take that file to that CID?
I have actually went to the bribery commission few times.
When was it? Show me the lodge number and everything. Show me the receipt that given by the CID then.
See, the CID is not the authority. The bribery commission is the authority. Bribery commission is the authority. I have actually, this is the letter from the bribery commission related to the...
Can I get a copy of that, please?
Of course, yes.
When was it?
This particular complaint was April 11th this year, related to the system collapse in February 9th that cost the CEB around 8.5 billion rupees. I have to go there tomorrow to make my statement formally to start the proceedings.
Go for it.
And I have also sued
if there's someone who has done any wrongful thing, they will be penalized definitely.
Will you take the same? Will you hold that word true if it's your MP?
I still in the same stand, of course.
So, Champika Hettiarachchi from Gampaha district early last month took illegal measures to he literally destroyed half of the Pilavatta lake, an irrigation tank. I have a letter from the Agrarian Services Center Andiyambalama. I'll just read the last sentence. It's a long letter in Sinhala. ඉහත සඳහන් කාර්යයන් ගොවිජන සංවර්ධන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ නිර්ණායක සහ නීති රීති වලට පටහැනීම අනුමැතියකින් තොරව සිදු කර ඇති බව වාර්තා කරමි. ඉහත කරුණු තහවුරු කිරීම සඳහා අද දිනදී ලබාගත් චාරිත්‍රාත්මක මේ සමග ඉදිරිපත් කරමි. I have videos, files, everything. I have the entire dossier.
Go for it.
Nothing has happened. The police has done nothing. Police has done nothing. I'm receiving death threats just for protesting your government.
There will be an investigation for sure, definitely. Take my word as it. If it
Nothing
is
has
not,
happened.
Give me a copy of that as well.
I will
right?
give you. I will give you. I will
If
also
it is-
give you the
if it
threat,
is-
the death threat I've received just the night
Come on.
on it's with the IGP. I lodged a complaint to the IGP
Over the
just
phone,
2 days.
how did you get that threat
On
from?
my WhatsApp, the phone numbers are there, the people are known to the state. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been done.
Well, actually,
I led the campaign, I led a protest against your energy ministry and the political commissar committee that runs the energy ministry in front of the energy ministry around 11 a.m. Last week. What did I got in return? A clear death threat. I can give you a copy of it. I can give you a printed copy. I can give you a digital copy. What has your government done to prevent such incidents from taking place?
Well, actually, we have given the independency. Like, you know,
No, nothing.
for those all commissions being
Independence worth nothing. What is
The
independence?
police, we never
You
never talked
appointed
to
a
any
person.
OIC
No,
regarding anything.
No,
right?
I mean, the people you appointed to the head the CID, Shani is a person who was in your political stage.
No.
Mr. Seneviratna is also a political person.
Anyone
They
can
were part
accuse
of your
like that.
party apparatus in the
Definitely.
campaign. No government has ever done that. No government. We have a lot of problems with previous governments. There were corruption.
Which government?
All governments are responsible, including JVP, for the situation we are in. We
For
have
the
to work together.
months, you think? Yeah.
But no other government have ever appointed a person who spoke and stood in a political party rally or a political stage to such positions. Now you just appointed a political appointee, Dr. Surya Peruma, as the secretary to the finance ministry. How just is that? Is there no other qualified people in this country to run it? Professionals without party affiliations? I understand you are in a dilemma. You need to actually make sure you can trust people. But then if you can't trust the bureaucracy, the
There's
talented
no
people in the
bureaucracy
bureaucracy, that's a big problem.
There's no bureaucracy in this government, actually. We are
No, I'm
trying
not talking about the government bureaucracy, the established state.
Make it right.
You should not interfere with the state.
Well, actually, you know that appointing the ministry secretarial positions, it's totally the decision of the executive.
So if
power.
that's right,
Executive
how do
power
you
can
criticize
decide.
President
That's
Gotabaya
it's not
appointing
against, it's
Ajit
not
Nimad
against
Kabra?
the,
It's the same.
appointing a politician, former politician, as a secretary of a ministry is not illegal to according to our constitution.
If that's
It
your
is- it's constitutional.
if that's your
Definitely
principal position
constitutional.
as the NPP, then how on earth you criticize President Gotabaya Rajapaksa appointing Ajit Nimad Kabra as
That's
the...
because of that they have invested and destroyed our money. No, they have invested $8 billion.
So when they do it, it's
in
wrong. When
Greece,
you do it right.
They not a cent got back in return. Like
What?
know, when the Ajit Nimad Kabral was the governor of the central bank, they invested.
So we have to take
8
your
billion
word.
Sri Lankan rupees.
We have to take your word that your guy is
Sri
better.
Lankan public funds in Greece. What did they get?
So
back? They got nothing
that's
back, right?
That's my question.
So that's the thing.
That's the same type of appointment you have done. What is the difference between Gotabaya Rajapaksa's appointment and your appointment?
You have twisted the thing, like, you know.
No, I haven't.
No.
I haven't.
Let me
In principal
explain,
terms,
please. If you ask the question, then
yes.
please
Please
right?
answer.
You know what's the case was? Case has been filed for misusing public funds against Ajit Nimad Kabral.
Was he found guilty by
not
that?
because of he has been appointed as the governor of central
No,
bank.
you criticize him being the governor of the central bank.
No, it's
you
not the
clearly
accusation.
criticized.
No, you have.
I remember your party criticized.
You had catch it from the tail, no? That's the thing.
No, I haven't.
You had catch it from the tail.
No, I haven't.
Unfortunately,
I haven't.
Just read the papers, like, you know.
What papers?
The accusation. He has been accused.
He was charged. He was accused of the hedging deal in Greek
it's all
bonds.
public
True.
funds being
But
wasted.
then there was a similar accusation
That's the thing,
against him from the NPP and also from our side.
Appointing
for
anyone,
him being appointed as the central bank governor after resigning from the parliament.
How did current governor was appointed then? We never appointed him. Previously, the Gotabaya, Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Yeah, I mean, you threatened to send him to jail.
Who?
The current you said, I think I think your electorate organizer, Mr. Chaturanga Abesing, who once actually put a social media post. I can't. If I have time, I'll try to get it. He's the one who said they
deserve
to be in jail.
When you mention names, be careful. Like, you know, you are mentioning names.
Well, if the government want to sue me for criticizing it, go ahead. I mean, that's better than getting death threats.
I don't know. It's up to the law, of course. My point is, like, appointing a person by the executive isn't it's not the case. We are talking about what they did.
Political appointments.
After getting that positions, what they did was the wrongful thing. That was illegal. That's what the case has been heard because of that. That's because of the act that they've done.
The first thing,
not by
political appointments were heavily criticized. That is the basis. Ajit Nimad Cabral got the criticism from the beginning since 2005.
That's because of his act. No, that's the thing. Like,
so if he didn't act it, that's all fine. To ignore the special service.
Like the current the governor of the central bank, who's doing a fair job, I suppose. That's what he's not been.
But
changed.
before
still there.
This is the problem.
We never appointed him.
NPP came to power on anti-corruption and good governance platform as well as reforms. Instead of doing reforms, actually, I was scared that they would actually walk the talk in line with the Lal Vijayanayaka Constitutional Committee recommendations from NPP. So myself and several of my colleagues actually criticized NPP's policy and also this proposed whatever cooked up constitution they wanted to bring in. But apparently they have not done that. They have not walked the talk. Instead of actually having your own program, you have followed Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe's program and done a bad job at it also.
We have been, who signed the agreement with the IMF?
But you said you are going to bring a separate debt restructuring agreement. You did. It's in your manifesto.
We said we have only two choices, either to get exit from that or either go through with it.
But you said
we chose the way that it has been.
But you
happening
didn't say
at that time because we were better.
Mr. Dammika, your party didn't say that before the election
as well.
Before the election, you said something different.
I'll just ask a follow-up question as well now, since the IMF was brought out as well. Now, from you, Mr. Sanka, I'll ask now with regards to SJB. Now, NPP has signed up this agreement, and also they have been in the power for 7 months. Now, if you all were in the government, what do you think SJB would have done differently as to what NPP is doing currently?
Actually, Mr. Sajid Premdas, the leader of SJB, have clearly stated that he is willing to renegotiate and discuss some of the clause. Because not everything IMF has proposed, the SJB have accepted, including the price hike of the CEB. Because as opposition, not just SJB, most of the opposition parties I know of, they are against of the electricity price hike that this government triggered under cooked up numbers. And the government actually said, it's because of the IMF pressure, and now the IMF has come out and said they were also deceived somewhat by providing fake numbers, but by none other than the country head of IMF. So IMF, yes, we need their support. Once we go to the IMF, there's very little you can do. You can't actually get a new restructuring deal all new. I mean, we knew that, we told that to our public. While the NPP said, oh no, we are going to leave this, we are going to have an entirely new agreement done. That's all. I mean, they gave fairy tales while we gave a real politic assessment.
That's wrong. We were saying there are two options.
Yeah, but in your policy manifesto, it doesn't say this.
No, it's also said that.
You clearly said, you clearly promised, Mr. Dammika, you promised to bring a new debt sustainability assessment and a new deal based on this. I also agree totally with the NPP. The debt restructuring method is unfair. It is unfair. I mean, my criticism of IMF or the criticism of SJB is not new. It's well known.
Until the end of 2027, we'll have to continue with this IMF program. Then after that,
but why didn't you say that before the election? That's the problem.
Why didn't you say only one side of the story? But there were two choices given. We clearly stated that
I mean,
there are two
that choice was not known to me. I mean, not to the public of this country, maybe to the Politburo of JVP. Even on energy, why didn't JVP say, this is the letter from the PUSL issued on April 3rd related to that corrupt cabinet deal? Why didn't they say to the public before the election, we are not pro-renewable, we are pro-diesel?
Just sue them, I mean,
I am suing them. I have sued your government. I have sued your government and won it. I sued your government for...
I agree with you that.
No, I have sued your government.
they'll be punished definitely.
Mr. Dammika, unlike the folders President Dissanayake bought in a truckload, our dossier on energy at least is not empty. These are not empty rhetoric. This is me suing. Also, SJB's former Minister Ajit P. Perera was a petitioner too. We sued your government against the unconstitutional attempt to change the Sri Lanka Electricity Act to give legitimacy to a party committee that run the energy ministry. You have proposed to dissolve the National Energy Advisory Council and appoint to give transfer that power, hand over that power to a minister appointed committee. We suspect it is to legitimize the unethical work done by Mr. Pubudu and his team, who's a member of your intellectual NPP network. I don't know what to call this. It's an extremely politicized attempt to justify outright corruption. Corruption can be individual, corruption can be structural.
Mr. Sanka, because we need to go for a short commercial break. We've been discussing about anti-corruption and good governance hand in hand, and how NPP has been working on with these two aspects as their main propaganda and call to action, and also Mr. Sanka elaborating how this has not been the situation and how they could have done it differently in terms of working on addressing anti-corruption. So let's discuss a little bit more on this spectrum right after the commercial break. This is TPS. Welcome back to TPS, and we are in the final segment of discussing about today's theme of anti-corruption and good governance with regards to what Mr. Dammika and Mr. Sanka were expressing with regards to the day-to-day situations and also the contemporary incidents with regards to the political landscape of Sri Lanka. I want to ask from both of you all as a closing remark for all our spectators and the general public. Now, I'll first direct it to you, Mr. Sanka. So now, when it comes to people like I and also everyone who are watching TPS, we have a concern now, anti-corruption and good governance, as much as it goes hand in hand, the leadership is the root cause for all of it to act and live upon it. So once the leadership is proper, everything comes into play with regards to all these aspects being fulfilled. Now, SJB, when it comes to SJB, what do you think in terms of governance, good governance, it can do in the upcoming years by being opposition party, not being as the main government party, but then again supporting for the community, because at the end of the day, no matter government or opposition, you all represent the people and you do good and answer their questions. So what are your plans?
SJB has as a opposition, as the main parliamentary opposition of this country, has set a new standard for being opposition. We from far away from being a destructive and very nasty opposition that we are used to in our opposition political culture, we are trying to set examples for supporting good things and opposing bad things. At the same time, we also want to provide solutions to the people. The best example right now in this discussion is me being here. I am an independent political advocate working on energy and mineral rights. I'm advocating for sustainable development and green development, green energy. And the SJB had the vision to invite me to represent their party in an open platform like this. Why? They wanted to be inclusive. One of the main aspects, one way you can actually practice good governance in opposition politics is to incorporate people's views, allow them to come in, integrate their opinions in you, and then let them shape your decision-making process. So I see SJB will advance this. Instead of protesting everything, instead of protesting and sabotaging every good or bad thing the government does, I think it's the job of a good opposition party to support the government when it's needed by the country, to support the stability of the state. The NPP I don't know where they stand in terms of the independence of the state, but we believe in it. We believe in our republic. We believe in the democratic right of this country's people. We also believe that the people's aspirations, that is to have a better quality of life, requires positive and sustainable economic growth, and that can be achieved by a green industrial revolution. So we can actually provide industrial and service support to the global supply chains, because we are in the perfect place to do so, geographically and also politically and economically.
Thank you, Mr.
So this is what we want to advance. We want to incorporate civil society. We want to provide solutions instead of just criticizing. It is far from what the other opposition parties before us have done.
Thank you, Mr. Sanka. So I'll be moving on to Mr. Dammika as well. So I want this with regards to a very short remark for our spectators. Now, NPP has been in power for 7 months, and we are positive about how things will go on despite the criticisms and everything going on, opposition supporting and opposing. That should be the real situation. So with your regard, NPP, what are the upcoming plans for anti-corruption and good governance?
Thank you for trusting us. Actually, we are asking you to keep trusting us for the next four years or so. So then we'll be, getting a proper idea of this government and where we are heading. Like, for another year or so, you might be able to see, like before that actually we have started already 3 major plans. Like, good governance means like, governing a country isn't like, protecting public funds and doing nothing. But we have to develop this country as well. This is in a so bad position. Actually, a lot of youngsters are leaving this country still. It has been given the example by the previous governments, like, you have no future here in Sri Lanka. We are trying to change that scenario in a good manner. So basically what we do is like, rural poverty has to be eliminated. Mm-hmm. That's number one. With this poverty, remember that, during the COVID era, we got malnutrition cases among our children under the age of 6. I remember it was in the media, and then we have to have, that very familiar word, clean Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. Under that, we are doing a lot of things for this country. Not just having a cleaner environment, but to protect it and develop it in a nature that where that the youngsters and the talented people will remain in this country, stay back in this country without going to any other developed countries. And then finally the major thing, we are digitizing the whole thing, digital economy. Mm. We call it like, paying and all the taxes and, doing your day-to-day jobs online, such as like, Starlink is here right in Sri Lanka already. So that means you'll get cheaper internet facilities in the future. So likewise, under those 2 major categories, we are trying to develop a better country. That's our will and the genuine neediness that we are here to do that. Nothing else. We don't have anything else to be done except making this place is a better place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dammika.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
So this was a very fruitful discussion about anti-corruption and good governance, and I believe all of the facts and figures, and also both representative speaking facts about both their representatives from different parties. I want to thank and express our gratitude towards Mr. Sanka Chandima from the Jana Balawegaya and also Mr. Dammika Bandara from National People's Party. Thank you so much for joining us for TPS. And don't forget to send your feedback for this program as well as other programs at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 0768057933. So we were discussing about anti-corruption and good governance, which is a pivotal topic with regards to clean politics, and I believe all of us are positive as to looking forward in an optimistic way what the government has been planning for a political landscape that has a very rich futuristic aspect, and also the opposition opposing, supporting and guiding them through the way forward. So we will be discussing about much more important topics in the coming episodes. Till then, have a good night and enjoy your rest of the week.